Hello.
Ih, Ali, peraí, que eu tô mandando.
Tá me ouvindo?
Tô te ouvindo.
Áudio?
Tô mandando aqui os lembretes, né? Tá meio. Deixa eu ver quem. Todo mundo que confirmou. Bruno Amorim, a Gláucia, Júlio, que é o marido da Hanna.
E
Os 10.
Olha, Mício! Minute, please.
Eu sei.
Ellie!
how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, good. Oh my God, I missed you.
Me too. And Laís, how are you?
Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
Good.
Like on the good old days.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm just reminding people here, sending the link so you girls can talk. Just let's wait just a little, just for 5 minutes.
All right. Are you still living in Santos?
No, now not exactly in Santos, but now I'm in Santos, but I'm living part-time in Santos and part-time in São Paulo, né? Because my job. Né?
Love that. And how's your daughter?
And you
I'm
living in UK?
Yes,
No,
I'm like not in London. I'm 40 minutes from London. So it's like a little
40
city
minutes.
near London.
A small town?
Yeah, it's very
Oh.
small. I hate it here.
Ah.
But it's nice and close to London, so I can get to London very easy. And it's very central, like near the stations and all that. So it's nice. Hello.
Hello.
You're right. Where's Hiki?
He's coming.
Okay, I was like, I'm sending message. She was like, you get your ass there.
Yeah.
That's my niece, Glaucia.
Ah, your niece?
Yeah.
She's good too, né?
Yeah, look at her speaking English and all that. How's your daughter?
A daughter?
Your daughter.
My daughter, she's good too.
Is she dancing still?
Yeah, she's dancing, but not focused in professionalized in dancing. She facing this in really raw hobby, né? In hobby, and she working in research, social research, né? Now she has what the name of the company is? Fast Shop. Fast Shop is
oh, cool.
Retail company, né?
Yeah.
In the department focus in the research too.
Nice. Oh, good. Good for her. Is it really cold there, Lo?
Yes.
Yes.
I see you wearing a jumper. Is it? Geez, I saw there was snowing in Rio do Rastro. Gee, yeah. It's like the world's coming to an end. That's what this is. Climate change killing us all. It's really warm here in the UK now. I've really noticed the difference. When I first lived here, we used to have like really cold days and snowy days. And now it's so rare. We don't really get that much. In
the south part of this country, our country is so cold. But in Santos, never, né? Never cold.
Yeah, lucky you.
Okay.
And 100%, 99% of the days is sunny days.
Oh, nice. It is really nice, Santos. I really liked it when I visit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like Vermont because It's near sea. It's,
our quality of life.
the
is totally different
environment, the
when you're near
vibe is
nature.
different, like the cosmopolitan city, like São Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, so we're going to well, this is going to be recorded and broadcasted.
Okay, I have to behave. No foul language. Okay, I'll try.
No, don't worry. Okay. Well, why I'll figure it out later. I took a look before, but I completely forgot. Anyways, so let's get it started. Before Ali, let me thank you for accepting this invitation. Now you are on the other side. Once we are in the same side here as mentors and founders, but now you broke my heart and you moved away and left me by myself. All the dramas aside, thank you very much for everybody who is joining us. A few people is still arriving home, but anyways, we have to start. So I would like to give the floor to Ali de Oliveira, who is going to share some of her lessons while traveling almost 40 countries, and Ali.
No, actually, 45 is the goal.
Oh.
It's only been 30 so far, she says. All right, let me try to find my presentation here. Hold on. Because I haven't done this for a little while, so I'm a little bit rusty. All right, here it goes. Tell me if you can see my screen. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, because I kind of want to see you all as well in the process. So, yeah, there we go. Right, here we go. So, do you see as a full screen?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, who is Ali? Na fila do pão. Oh, okay, hold on. My friend is asking for the link. The link is the one you sent to Lazy, right? Hello, can you send the link to Nina, please?
Which one?
No, Hello will send it, don't worry. All right, so I normally say I'm British Brazilian, but depending on the day you ask me, I would say I'm Brazilian British, because it depends if I'm feeling very Brazilian or very British on the day. So, yeah, when I left Brazil, I was only 21 years old, and I had the mentality of how hard can it be, and I want to see the world. That's the two things I really wanted in life. And I left Brazil without speaking any English. I moved to the UK, and I was like, I'll pick it up. I'll learn in the way. It's going to be fine. It was fine, but it was really hard too. So when I start in the UK, I start working as in travel, because I always enjoy travel and tourism. So I studied in college. I started working in a travel agent, and then I progressed to a tour operator. So I did different things on the travel industry, and mainly because I like the discounts you get to travel, like cheap flights and cheap hotel and things like that. So I would get away every chance I had. First within the UK, and then once I got my visa situation sorted, then outside the UK, I started going abroad to different countries. So far, I counted the other day, I counted for this, and it's 30 countries at the moment. My niece Marina is like, you got to start to saying that you travel to 30 countries and you don't think that's enough. Which is true, I don't. So one can dream. 45 is the sweet number I have in my head. So hopefully I'll make to 45. It's easier for me to tell you the places I don't want to go than the places I wanted to go. So this little chat is like me telling my stories, but that's a little bit boring. So I'll be asking you questions. I want to hear your stories as well. I want to know like your point of views, and yeah, the travel community is all about sharing, and we will be doing that here as well. All right, so I will start with some questions. First question I would like to ask is, what is the difference between going on holiday and traveling? Do you guys know? There is a difference. Don't be shy. Anyone? Go lazy. Let me.
Okay, so let me see. Going on holiday, it's when you take some days off from work with the intention to relax and interact with people. I mean, experience life and the pleasure of traveling, right?
Yeah, exactly that. So going on holidays is basically the purpose. The purpose is the main difference. When you go on holiday, you normally go to chill, to relax by the beach or whatever. It doesn't need to be by the beach, but it's the purpose is to relax. Traveling is not relaxing. Traveling is like, I want to see everything, I want to experience everything. So there's a lot of logistics involved, there's a lot of moving around involved, there's a lot of traveling involved within the travel that you're doing. So it's a different experience altogether. So like, where are you guys on the list of like, are you travelers, are you holidayers? That word doesn't exist. Where are you, like, what's the priority when it comes to traveling? Is the high in your list, or is like whenever I have money leftovers? Hello.
I'm a mix of both of them. You know,
Mm.
well, nowadays, I mean, with age now, I don't think I'm as much as a traveler, trying to cover sites and things to do, checking the boxes of things that has to do in the place. I try to enjoy more, but I definitely, try to see things as much as I can and try to enjoy at the same time.
Cool, thank you. And how do you think, if at all, traveling can shift your worldview? That's a bit of a deeper question.
Oh,
So,
definitely. When we travel, either on holiday or even on business, and we are open to new experiences, to see how, even inside our own country, when we go to a different region here in Brazil, and we are open to the experience to see different possibilities of living and to do things, this changed one's perspective in life. Oh, the way I live in the bubble that I'm from, it's not the only possible bubble.
exactly. No, 100% agree. All right. So my first lesson is, regardless of where you are, people are people. And is so true. Like I truly believe that people are mostly good. And when you travel, you start relying on the kind of strangers. So you do need to ask questions. You do need to put yourself out there. Sometimes things are not working as you should, and you need to put yourself out there. And because you rely on strangers, you can see how most people are really happy to help you. Most people will get out of the way to help you. And we are like very much like that as Brazilians. You don't see so much like this behavior in Europe, but South America, 100%. And Asia, or like everywhere I traveled, I always had to like expand my little circle. And I always seen that people are willing to help you. And there is that was my major shift on my perspective, especially understanding people from different walks of life. When there's a story I always tell, because I remember like the day the penny drop in my head. I was traveling from Bolivia to Chile, and we hired a car. We were in the desert in the middle of nowhere, And some of the travelers had to stay in Chile. And they were going to go on, and we were coming back. Me and my friend were coming back to Bolivia. And so when after they dropped those people, he then picked up like some travelers to come back to Bolivia. So we had to travel with these people like a day and a half. We had to stay a night in the hotel and everything with them. So they basically picked up hippies that were doing a craft fair in Chile. And those are people I have zero things in common. And to be honest, I was a snob. I looked at them, I was like, I'm gonna have to spend like 1.5 days with these people? Like, oh no. But being in the car for that amount of time made me interact with them and ask questions. And then they were telling me about their families and about the children and about their lives. And it was like a really eye-opener, because like these people, which I thought was so different from me, actually is not at all. They have the same struggles. They love their family. They love their kids. They are trying to provide for their families. They have the same struggles with disease and illness, or poverty that we all suffer from, and they're all trying to do the best. So actually, we're all the same, and people are mostly good trying to do the best. So yeah, that's my little view on that. All right, I'm gonna move on, and then at the end we can open up and talk more about it, the lessons. So lesson number 2, traveling changes your beliefs. So it's very similar to 1, but a little bit different. So when you travel, again, you're exposing yourself to different cultures, and it's completely different. A lot of the time, people that you're talking or interacting to is very different than your own little bubble, and your own perspective of things. So seeing how they act or live, it kind of make you question your own bias and your own values as well. So as you come into contact with people, you understand that there isn't a right or a wrong way to be. It's mostly a matter of perspective. And this is not always easy. This is not like, just accept everyone and it's fine. Because sometimes you are going to be dealing with very difficult things. Like when I was in Egypt, for example, I was constantly harassed by men, and they will follow me around and they will be trying to talk to me. And that's not nice, obviously. And I don't have to like. However, it kind of like made me think like, why do they act this way? And then as I started to talk to people and locals and things like that, I kind of like get it. I still don't agree. I still think they're harassing and they're being horrible. But it kind of makes you more tolerant to the way they are or the way they do things. And you in turn take that into your own life, because you learn to be tolerant towards things about you don't like. So you can take this tolerance to your workmate who is annoying you, and you can like start to wondering why are they this way, or like, and it doesn't have to be bad things as well. There are other things, good things that they do it differently, that you're like, I've never seen things from that perspective. I never would think to do this thing that way, kind of thing. So yeah, there's a little saying saying cultural awareness is a positive product of a bad experience. So yes, definitely cultural awareness is a result of traveling. All right, so money is psychological. I say travel is about perspective, and I know you can't go to the travel agents and go like, here, I'm paying with perspective today. That's not possible. However, I do maintain that, money is, for traveling, is a priority. People do ask me a lot, how do I afford to travel? And it's a very valid question, to be fair. But to me, it's a matter of perspective, and I do go without in other areas. So, I don't have a car, I live in a small place, or, I I save money. I don't go out with friends so much because I'm saving for a big trip and things like that. So you kind of have to have this thing on the long term. Is traveling what you really want to do? And if it is, then you kind of need to have the long term goal and go for it, basically. So, and again, this is something you can take to life as well, because if you, I don't know, let's say your priority is now, I don't know, buy a car, for example, then you have to say no to a whole bunch of different things. Every choice you make, doing something means you're not doing a lot of other things, because you can't do it all. So yeah, and there's different ways to travel as well. You can stay in a 5-star hotel, or you can just stay in a hostel. You choose the way, your budget, and then you plan around it, and you try to go according to whatever it is that you can afford to do it. And like even in Brazil, for example, one of my best trips was around Brazil. And Brazil is such an amazing, diverse, massive country that you can travel within Brazil and it still experiments difference in language, difference in culture, difference in food. And it's just enriching. And especially if you are willing to get out of the resorts and hotels and spend time with the locals, talk to the locals, and go where they go, eat where they eat, and do what they do, and like go to the forró or whatever, to kind of like get really in touch with what are they doing. So yeah. So number 4, plan and be present. I am a little bit of a freak when it comes to planning for my holidays. If you know me, you know I overplan a lot. So I think I'm a little bit exaggerated when it comes to that. I create a spreadsheet and I pre-book my accommodations and I pre-book everything, and I have a massive list of the places I wanted to see and the places I need to go and how much they're going to cost and everything. And so maybe don't do that because it's a bit much. But think on the logistic. To travel, I'm not just going to one place. I normally go to 5-6 places all at once. So a lot of the time, it's like if I don't plan where I'm gonna be and like think logistic, what is open, what is closed, where I'm gonna be on that day, then it's just like when I'm on holiday, I have very limited time. I'm gonna have like 1 week, 7 days, 10 days, or I don't want to be thinking about what I'm going to be doing. I need to like boots on the ground and know what I'm going to be doing. And that really it was a way for me to find like peace when I'm away, because then I know what I'm going to do. I just need to stick to it. I did all the research before. I know what's open. I know what's closed. I know how much it costs. And then when I'm there, I can just be fully present and relax and just chill. And to me, it takes me weeks to do that. And I feel like I'm already on holiday because I'm reading about the place, I'm reading about the costumes, I'm reading about the foods, I'm choosing where I'm going to eat or the museums I want to see. So to me, that makes me like feel like I'm already on holiday, even though I am not, obviously. But yes, plan and be present, because you cannot go wrong with planning. All right, 5, be flexible. Now, Laiz is gonna laugh because I'm probably the most least flexible person she ever met in her life. I like the things I like, and I don't like changes very much. However, travel was a very good lesson for me because traveling made me learn to accept things. When you travel the way I do, there's a lot that can go wrong. You can miss connections, you can miss a flight, the train can get cancelled, and then that would have a knock-on effect and everything else, because my previous list there, it's like perfect plan. I need to be there, place at that day, at that hour. So anything goes wrong, it can like cause a massive disruption into the perfect plan I created in my head. So you kind of need to be flexible because things will go wrong. you will never go on a holiday and thinking, oh, look at me, everything went out according to plan. It doesn't work that way. Things will go wrong, and things are out of your control as well. Like sometimes the weather is bad, and then things that you plan to do you can't do, or you have to do in the rain, like me in Iceland, where I got drenched to my bones because would not stop raining. And I'm like, I'm in Iceland, I pay money to be here, and I'm gonna go and see things even if I'm freeze to death. And that's a picture of me all wet there in the Iceland, the one in green. So yeah, it's just like be adaptable, and then sometimes you're gonna have to do things that are not fantastic, and sometimes you're just gonna have to laugh about it because everything went wrong when it's fine too. So yes, being flexible is like makes you confident as well. Every time you push through to solve a problem and discomfort, it kind of like makes you a little bit more resilient. It helps you to cope and to get out of your little comfort zones. So yeah, it's a lesson that I was very reluctant to learn, but yet here we are. There was no other way around. And number 6 is travel like life evolves. So as we mature in life, our tastes change, and the same thing happens to travel. So when I first started traveling, I was very adamant that I need to see everything, I need to go everywhere. And then eventually I was just like, this is kind of really stressing me out. It's just making me very frustrated. Things go wrong, I can't see everything. And then I was just like, okay, as opposed to decide on exactly the itinerary I'm going to make, I am going to just highlight things that I can possibly see, and then I'll kind of order it into like most I need to really see this, or like things I am not that bothered about it. And then that way I could work my itineraries and in a way that leaves me more room for spontaneity. So yeah, to be spontaneous is kind of like part of the fun of traveling. And there is no right way to travel. Like we have to really adapt to kind of like, no, adapt, that's not the word. We have to think before you travel, what do you actually want to achieve from this experience? So like I can travel to a 5-star resort and I can stay in a hostel. They're both fine. I prefer the hostel personally, but they're both fine. But you kind of like need to then decide what do you actually want from this experience, and then take it from there. So if you achieve what you set up to do, then you had a successful holiday. And yeah, so don't be too attached to one style of traveling, because it's amorphous. Like you, is not static. It changes as you change as well, and you can do many different things all at the same time, and it's fine. Doesn't really matter so long you're happy and you achieve what you set out to do. And this is my bonus lesson. Pack light and always get travel insurance. I cannot tell you how important it is to travel with travel insurance, because yeah, Blaze is disagreeing, but yes, important, travel insurance. And I'm just gonna leave it with my favorite quote from, they said Mark Twain, but who can tell? Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. And that cannot be a truer quote. Absolutely 100% agree. Because when you start travel, you open yourself to the world and to people, and it just becomes, you become more empathic, and you become more open to new way of things and thinking. So yes, thank you very much, and I hope this has inspired you to travel more. And that was me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. So I would like to ask you a question and then extend this question to everybody here. Okay, let me find my list of questions first. Hold on. Okay. No, what was the most weird situation you lived while traveling?
Oh my God, weird. Okay, this one came to mind, so I'm going with that. I was staying in a hostel. I was married at the time. I was with my ex-husband, and it was a hostel in the middle of the countryside. I think it was Wales in England somewhere, and it just couldn't sleep very well because, like, yeah, just couldn't sleep very well. And the next thing I know, this guy just like came on. We were on the bunk beds, and he just came and like started talking to us, and he was speech black, and was just like freak me out. And he wasn't like doing anything malicious. He's just like asking a question or whatever. But it was in the middle of the night. Yeah, hostels has like the most funny stories. Like, so yeah, you do expose yourself to some crazy people, and sometimes you are the crazy one, because it has happened in the past. Where I was with a group of girlfriends in the middle of the Lake District, and Lake District is famous for walks. So people wake up really, really early to go for hiking. And me and my girlfriend would just want to have a laugh. So we were being really, really loud, and we had a few drinks, and we would not let this poor Chinese or Japanese, can't remember, sleep. And he got really annoyed with us. So yes, told us off, and then we couldn't sleep because we kept laughing, and then he got really even more annoyed because the bed was made of iron, and every time we laughed the bed would go. So that was the whole evening. The poor guy had to then hike the next day after all this madness. Yeah, so sometimes you're the mad one, and sometimes you encounter the mad people.
Yeah. And who else? So we have here Glaucia, Sivaldo, Kenya, Elo, and oh my God, Lucas here, Henrique as well, Marina. So you guys would like to share any crazy situation, weird situation you lived while traveling?
I
Or
have
ask
a
me a question
question
as well.
about Ellie, about a question. And did all the people you met in your travel speak in English? Because in Brazil,
Not always.
it's difficult to met the people, but all the countries, people speak in English.
Mostly, it does help a lot. But not always. No, sometimes you in, like when I was in Indonesia, for example, or Hong Kong. Oh my God, when I was in Hong Kong, the hotels would tell us like you need to walk around with the address of the hotel in Mandarin because the taxi drivers can't read English. So we were like, that card was like the most precious thing because he could not explain to a Mandarin in Mandarin which the name of the hotel. Yeah. So yeah, in Hong Kong I struggled a bit. Singapore was a little bit difficult. Indonesia not so much. It was a bit easier. South America, because of my Portuñol, I was absolutely fine.
It's easier than understand.
But yeah,
another country, for example, China or.
But you can signal, and you can like now you with your phone, you just write in your phone, or like if you stay in a place, people like in the hotel in Hong Kong we stayed, they were very, very good. Like they would really look after us. In fact, okay, that's gonna be another drunk story. So, so you see a pattern developing here. Yeah, so we there was one night we really wanted to go to a karaoke because there was like I just really want to go to a karaoke in China. I don't know, don't ask me. And then but then it was too early, so they're like it's gonna be closed now. So then we went to the bar and we were just drinking and having a laugh and everything. And then finally we're like, okay, let's go. And then when we went out to get the taxi to go to a bar or karaoke, they wouldn't let us go. They were like, no, they're closed now. They're closed. It's too late. Because they saw the state of us. It's like, it's not safe to let those girls out. And then they were like, yeah, no, go back to the bar. It's fine. It's like it's closed now. It's a bad idea. Don't go. So this is what I mean, like kindness of strangers, because like that was a really bad idea. Kids don't drink and travel.
The people had sympathy with your situation.
Yeah, no, all the time. They really look after us. Yes, for sure, all the time. I had that is a pattern through life. They look after us and like, no, don't do this or don't do that, or like, yeah, no, for sure, for sure, for sure. I had more positive experiences traveling than bad experiences. Like there are sometimes situations that you think, oh, this could have gone bad, or this guy was a little bit dodgy, but mostly is people being kind.
Okay, another question for you is, you said, well, actually, I cannot remember if you said these now, or if I recall it from previous conversations we had, that when you arrived in England for the first time, when you first moved, you were not proficient in the language. And how much time after that did you feel comfortable and confident to travel outside England, you know, by yourself, and you were confident that, okay, yeah, I speak fluently and I'm proficient and I'm confident about my accent? Because now, yeah, we cannot tell you apart from any other English people when you speak, because you sound like an English person. But I assume that when you first arrived there and when you first felt like this, you had some, you know, background still of your Brazilian accent.
Oh yeah, I still do.
Oh, come on, no, you don't, which is not a problem, right? As long as you speak for people to understand you. So accent is our power, tells who we are and where we are from. So I'm absolutely pro that. But again, coming back to your question, so when did you first felt confident?
I think like I wouldn't leave the UK because I had visa situations. Like I was here on a student visa and I was too scared of not letting me back in the country if I left. So I started traveling within the UK, which was, to me, everything was new. I've never been anywhere, so I was more than happy to do that. But yeah, I started like seeing my English progressing when I start talking to people and they could actually answer something on the context I was asking, so they understood my question or they understood the point, and then they would say something back and I would actually understand what they said, and then I was like, okay, this is working, I am learning. this I see progress, because like now I'm having a conversation, like they understand what I'm saying and I can understand what they're saying, and then we can then progress. And that probably took me about 3-4 months, so it wasn't.
It was pretty fast.
Yeah, I guess it's fast, but then again, I was in the country just living English all the time. So yeah, I mean, I could understand a lot of things, but like lost. But to like have a proper conversation, like 2 ways, it was probably 3-4 months.
Okay, I'll let the other people ask questions.
Can I
Marina
ask
wants
a question?
Oh yes, come on.
You talk about the men in Egypt, and you said that you understood why they do what they did. So I want to ask why they do that. What is the culture of them?
That's a very good question. Okay, I've learned the answer to that not when I was in Egypt so much, but it was after when I went to Dubai. So years later, I went to Dubai, and then I had a more in-depth relationship with people when I was in Dubai, and it's essentially like it's the religion of, like, you know, the woman has to cover up, and if you're not cover up, then you kind of like exposing yourself to all sorts of like uninvited situations. In Dubai, I never was harassed in Dubai. People very, very respectful. And in Dubai is when I actually learned to see things through the women's point of view. Like I remember once I went out of a dress and it was way too revealing for Dubai, from an Arabic country, and the men didn't harass me, didn't look at me or anything, but the women did. And I was like, I felt bad for them. I was like, I feel like being me walking around this way makes their costumes and beliefs look like a joke. So I was being disrespectful to the women, and that made me cover up. So I was just like, no, I'll definitely cover up. Now going back to Egypt, they have it's a poor country. Egypt is a poor country, and time and time again, women from European countries go to Egypt and they find Egyptian lovers. And then the Egyptian guys, they see you as a ticket out. So if you fall in love with them, then they can go and live in Germany, in England. So that's mostly what it was. They kind of like, they want the tickets out. So they will harass you, and they will be in their minds, they're being friendly. Me being a woman, I felt terrified. But yes, a lot of women don't feel terrified, and a lot of women love the attention, so much so that there are lots of relationships.
That's
Good
very
question. Well done.
Yeah, I have another question. When you travel, are you the kind of person that gets off the beaten track, or you like to see what all the tourists see, you know, saying that comfort and secure zone for tourists?
It depends. I kind of do both, because I think the touristic things are touristic things for a reason. So yeah, I kind of like to do both. It depends like who I'm with as well. If I'm by myself, I tend to be a little bit more careful and not go do random things. Like when I was in Dubai, my friend wanted to buy a bag, a designer bag, and then this guy just arrived and he was like, "Do you girls want a bag?" And my friend's like, "Yes." He's like,
From the
"Follow
city
me."
movie.
And then we were following this guy, and I was just like,
Oh my
"We're
God,
gonna
you're
die."
describing Sex and the City.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was a proper more. Like, we are gonna definitely die. So he's like breaking into these little alleyways and everything. And I was like, "Jane, can you remember the way back?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh my God." And anyway, so we're like, okay, now we're committed. We have to follow this guy. And we follow him. He goes into a building. And then I looked at him like, "We're gonna go in a house, in a flat? We're definitely not coming out. It's just gonna be like," she's like, "No, Dubai, safest town. Like, there is no crime in Dubai. Let's do it." Me being a Brazilian, like everything in my body was going, "You are freaking gonna die today." And then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it, but I know I'm gonna die." And then in that, like, he is basically like a fake design things, so they kind of have to take you away because you basically buying like contraband things. So yeah, but we went in the flat. She bought her bag, and then he took us back because we couldn't remember how to go back, and then it was absolutely fine. So nobody died. I was wrong. And it was absolutely fine. So yeah, there are like, if I am with someone or if I have a feeling, I'll go very much with my feelings. Sometimes I'm like, this is dodgy, I'm not gonna do it. Or sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I'll be fine, and then I'll go and do it. But yeah, I mix both, because I do think like touristic things are touristic things for a reason, and they're kind of like the popular for a reason. Cool. Marina, do you have a question for me? Marina is dying to ask a question. Go on, Marina.
What is the weirdest place you have ever been to?
Oh, weird. How weird? How? As in, like,
I don't know, like weird. I don't know.
weird place. Oh, I don't know. Probably. I was gonna say Hong Kong, maybe, or Singapore. Not weird in a bad way, but like in a very, very, very different way than what I'm used to. Yeah, so I guess that. And then obviously when I was in Peru, where we went to a man-made island, that was very weird as well, because they plant the straws and then they make the island with the straws, and then I forgot the name of that thing. So yeah, and they live there with no water, no bathrooms and everything. So they just take the water from the lake and things like that. So that was probably like weird. Was very, very different.
Where, in China, you said, or in Peru?
That was in Peru, Lake Titicaca.
Oh, they live by the lake,
They live in the water. Yeah,
in the water. And
yeah, they
what do
create
they do
like
with the
an island made of straws.
What do they do with the discharges? I mean,
Goes in the
trash
lake.
toilet, everything's from the lake. Oh,
Yeah, goes to the lake, and yeah, it's very.
leave
They
it to
like
the
an indigenous community. They used to live in the mainland, and then they started having trouble with the mainland and everything. So they decided to move to the lake, and then they plant long straws, and they make the houses of the straws, and they make the island is those straws, and then it tends to sink. So they keep putting more on top of it, and then it kind of like sinks, and then they put new ones, and then it sinks, and they make the boats. The boats also made out of straws, and it's fascinating how they do it, but it's I'm not gonna find it, I don't think. Yeah, I wanted to like show an image.
And it's about food. What was the tastiest food you ate?
Oh,
And where?
oh my gosh, I love Asian food. Love Asian food. Americans, I hate to say that, but American, New York, those people can cook. Oh my god, everything you eat in America is fantastic.
come on. I mean, foreign restaurants. I mean, restaurants serving international food, because what's their typical food?
No, Americans like it's burgers and ribs and
Exactly.
like
So what
but
would
it's
you eat
like
there?
croutons and baguettes and bacon and
You see?
maple syrup everywhere. But the way they do it is just really tasty. So yeah, I ate very well when I was in America, but I really, really love Asian food. So yeah, Asian anywhere in Asia. And Peru, actually, the food in Peru is phenomenal. Actually, no, hold on. Peru, America, Asia. No, Peru, Asia, America. Okay, there we go.
Peru.
Yeah, I love Peruvian food as well.
Peru,
So now trying to
so
connect with our core ability, skill on developing people here at Mentua. So how did these experiences you had traveling, like cross-cultural communication, resilience, problem solving, because how these experiences enhanced your professional background, because you left England, came back to Brazil, and then you spent what? This last time you came,
8 years.
8 years, and then you went back to England, and you moved back to the same area you used to work, tourism. So how did these experiences of traveling enhance your professional skills?
I think it's a lot to do with problem solving. When you travel as much as I do, and the way I do mostly, you kind of have to be very good at planning and problem solving, because things will definitely go wrong, and you need to be quick and solve problems. So, and you can take that in life as well. The problem solving is very good for like office work and things like that. And I think as Brazilians, we are very good also being creative when it comes to problems, solutions and things like that. Brazilians are known for being very creative, dealing with problems, and yeah, so for sure. I think Henrique has a question now.
One thing that I was thinking, is that you said that you're really trying to get into the culture and talk with the locals. And I was only thinking like, oh, I could never do that. You have like a tip to, or a method to create courage to talk with people and like really trying to live their lives?
That's a very good question. Well done. Yeah, it is. I think it helps when you cara de pau, like I am. But if you're not, is a conscious decision to then ask people. Like we are very much, I think, as people, especially nowadays, very much reluctant to expose vulnerability and ask for help. And like I would say 9 out of 10 times when you ask for help, people will help you. It's very rare when they go like no. And like I love talking to cab drivers, taxi, Ubers. When I was in South America, I would talk like, because to me, they are a font of information. They know everything. The locals, they know the road, they know what's going on. So yes, my first port of call is always like taxi drivers and then people that work in a hotel or people that from a restaurant or something like that, like somebody that works there. So I kind of like try to talk to them to gather information, ask lots of questions. And then depending where I am, I would then, because again, because I travel by myself a lot, I don't like just like approaching random people and try to talk to them. So it's normally done in a way that I'm thinking like, okay, I think you're right because you work here or whatever. But it can happen as well when you go to a restaurant and you make friends, like, especially when you like more, when I'm with people, I'm more relaxed and with like a friend or something, they kind of like start talking to you on the table next to you, or like if it's an elderly couple or a lady, I normally try to talk to them. It's like, and then they get an accent. Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from? And then it kind of like takes from there. And yeah, it's just like it complements the hair and like, oh, your hair looks amazing. And then they go like, oh my God, you have an accent. Where are you from? And then you kind of like, okay, now I'm a different. So it's essentially getting out of your shyness and making a conscious decision to approach people. So if you by yourself and you will be scared of safety, then like do it with people that you know it works in certain places, and also you have to do that in a way that you're not also exposing yourself. Like I never tell people I'm alone. I never tell people where I'm staying. If I'm, oh, where are you staying? Oh, I forgot the name of the hotel, but it's somewhere around blah blah blah. Yeah, never. Yeah, because I kind of like, I am quite conscious about security. And also what I've learned recently, even though I travel along, I do little tours. Like when I went to Marbella in Spain, I paid the tour for coming to Doha. And then I did the tour as a group. So like I met the people, they took us on the bus, and then I made friends with some Italian girls. And I was just chatting with the Italian girls. And then after we came back, we went for dinner together. And then it was just like, she was absolutely lovely. And then I met her the next day as well. And then I went away to another part of, and it's like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, smile, ask questions, and compliment them, because they're always going to be happy if you compliment.
Great tips. And this works for pretty much every situation in our
That's
life.
life. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Gauss, you're saying?
It is about when you plan your trip, and what's your tip? You save money on travel. Choose the fly with antecedence. What is the tips?
So first I decide where.
Especially international trip.
Yeah, no, first I decide where. And then first thing I need to know, like, okay, I want to go to Iceland. I went to Iceland. That was my last biggest trip I did. I want to go to Iceland. And then like the next thing is like, when is the high season? When is the most expensive? So I avoid that because I don't have kids in school, so I can go whenever the hell I want to go. So I don't need to travel in high seasons. So normally I go like, okay, so high season, avoid that. And then second thing is the weather. When is the weather going to be fairly decent? Yeah, and then I think about the weather. And then I try to pick up a date that is just low season, the weather is dry and not too cold. And then, okay, so that's when I'm going to go. And then most expensive thing is going to be hotels. After the flights, hotels. I love hostels because hostels is a chance to meet people. Everyone's traveling alone, and you always make friends in hostels, and you always talk to people in hostels. So you're kind of alone, but you don't feel so alone because everyone's kind of on the same boat. I had very, very, very cool and interesting conversations with very different people in hostels. It's like in Iceland, like this guy was cycling around Iceland. Cycling in Iceland is not for the faint at heart because the wind, you can't even drive, let alone cycle.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. So yeah, and you now, because I am very curious, I asked lots of questions. So he's explained to me where he was, where he went, and what he did. So very, very interesting conversations, like in hostels. I have. So yeah, I like staying in hostels and also saves money. And then after that, then I'll be thinking about like, okay, if I stay in hostels, I also save on food because on my breakfast, I go to the supermarket, which is I love going to the supermarket. So I go to the supermarket, I get breakfast, food, and also snacks for the evening. And then I have one meal a day. So I'll have like a big lunch later. So I'm not that hungry. And then that's it. So I save money on that. So accommodation and
lunch with the
and my lunch has to be good because like I love food. I like eating, and you can't travel to be hungry. So I'm very fussy when I choose where I'm gonna have lunch because like it's gonna be the one meal. So I want it to be perfect. And that's where I splash.
And about the I don't know the name, but travel packages, né? I don't know.
Package holidays, yeah.
Holidays. Is it a good idea?
Yeah.
Save money, for example, né, in international travel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't like because of the restrictions of being a certain place at a certain time, and like
yes,
I am very bad at following. Yeah, I'm very bad at following other people's itinerary. Yeah, I'm not very obedient. Like, I get lost from the groups, and it's just I've tried, but I end up getting in trouble because I get lost. Because I'm like, yeah, this is boring. I'm gonna do something else.
It's a good opportunity to meet other people, né?
Yeah.
To like the hostel, if you intended to travel alone and
yeah, for sure.
For conversation with each others, like the hostel.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think like I have done in the past package holidays, and I will do in the future again. I will definitely be doing them again. So I'm not opposed to it. But it really depends. It's like what you're looking for. Like if I am tired and I want to just lazy by the beach, I will do a package holiday in a 4 or 5 star hotel, all inclusive, and it's fine. But that's what I want. So I just want to read a book and lazy by the pool, and then that's fine. But mostly that's not what I want. Cool. Any more questions?
What was your favorite place, country?
Oh, wow. I love South America. Like, I would definitely go back to Chile. I want to go back to Argentina, to do Patagonia. To me, South America is such a hidden gem. And it's just like, especially that really came to light to me when I went to Iceland, because everyone's like, Iceland is amazing, Iceland is amazing. And Iceland is amazing, don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal, it's very pretty. But I seen things when I was in Bolivia, in Atacama Desert, in Chile, that it's just like, okay, that was better. Chile was better, Bolivia was better, Peru was better. So yeah, and we're so lucky within Brazil as well. There's so many amazing places in Brazil. And like, you don't even have the language barrier when you travel around Brazil. So it's not even something to worry about. But yeah, the whole South America, I would say definitely Chile. I'm going back to, when I say I'm going back to, it's a big deal because I normally don't go back. I just go to a new place. So I'll go back to Chile. I want to go back to Argentina. And I might go back to Bolivia. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I need to do Bolivia again. And obviously there's Asia, which I'm obsessed with. So I'm definitely going back to Asia.
In your list of countries you've visited, have you ever been twice in the same country?
Spain I go a lot, but because I have family in Spain. So Spain, I went a few times. France, I don't like France, but because I worked with French companies, I had to go. I would go back to the US, but in the US, I did the East Coast. I want to do the West Coast now, so it's gonna be different. But West is like, the US is very, very low on my priority list, so I don't know when I'm gonna get there. But yeah, probably Spain. Spain is the one I go back a lot, and obviously Brazil.
Can you say that you've been to all the continents already?
Have I? Yeah, I think I have. Australasia, Europe. Yeah. Oh my God. So I have. Okay. So I've been to Egypt, but I don't consider like I've done Africa. Yeah. So no. Yeah. I'm Africa.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like I need a more genuine experience.
I mean, but you've been in an African country.
Yeah, but I don't. I have like technically yes, but I feel like I need more African culture.
Oh, definitely.
Like
Too.
South Africa or Namibia, Zambia, and things like that. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. Does anyone have any more questions for Ali?
It's my last one.
Okay.
But what's your next trip?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. I don't know. My
She's
next
going
trip.
to travel
What a
to
plan.
London.
It's my curiosity.
Hello, I didn't hear you.
I said that you're going to travel in London with me.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, next trip is gonna be wherever Louisa wants to go. I want to bring Eloisa next year to the UK. So we are probably gonna be going to Amsterdam and like
Amsterdam.
yeah, around Scotland.
It's the other question I want you, because you are near London. Have you visited Ireland and Scotland?
Yes, not this time around. Since I've been back, I haven't. But I've been to Ireland 2-3 times. Ireland is phenomenal. I cannot tell you how amazing Ireland is. Ireland is just magical. And Scotland, as you go up to the Highlands in Scotland, it's just magical. It's got like an energy. Edinburgh, it's different. That place is special. There's some sort of like fairy tale creatures that live around there or something. I don't know. It has a different energy and it's just like absolutely beautiful. Ireland, the Irish people are so fun. They're super warm and friendly. I mean, you can't understand what they're saying, but they are nice.
And the culture, the Celticals, né? Celticals.
Yes,
Culture.
Celtic.
I like this culture. And I entendo, you know?
No, definitely. And Northern Ireland, like Belfast, and it's nice. I really liked Northern Ireland. I will go back to Northern Ireland for sure. But Ireland itself is just phenomenal. Yeah, Ireland is really amazing. And Scotland, like Edinburgh and Inverness and the Highlands.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, these I was not able to live stream. I don't know what happened, but it's been recorded, and then I'm going to upload it to our YouTube channel. And whoever watches this later, we have a workbook that we are going to share with everybody who wants and who are here present with us at this moment. And if you're watching this in a later time, please just we will leave a link below in the description so you can ask for the workbook as well. But you needed to watch everything until the end until you get here. You only get the workbook if you watch everything to see what we are saying. But anyways, it's a pleasure to share. And you guys, I'm gonna send to the emails of the people who are present here with us. It's a workbook with designed about your travel, your story. It's a workbook with some guidelines on how to unpack your story in a way to design a storytelling to network for job interview. So it's very helpful because it's going to get your travel story and make it in a way to be interesting so that you can use it, you know, as a hook in your interviews and networking and professional situations in general. And Ali, again, thank you very much. I love you so much and I miss you very much.
Thank you. I love you guys. It was absolutely lovely doing this and talking to you all. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, showing us your pictures. I know it's very personal to you. It took you a great deal, of sharing those personal pictures, but thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope you're inspired now to travel.
Miss you.
Oh, I know. Come and see me,
It was
guys.
a pleasure, né? Stay with everybody here.
Okay, guys. So see you next time in our next Fluency Link, which is going to be next month, with another theme talking about endurance, how to overcome problematic situations. So I'll send you the links again. Bye-bye. Take good care of yourself.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.